Mercedes had taken 11 out of 12 pole positions this year, and it was Rosberg who took the prime spot ahead of his teammate. But there were no points for Saturday. It was the race that really mattered. The first task was to get down to the first corner in front and unscathed. "22 cars took their place on the grid. Nico was slow on the uptake, so the Mercedes went side by side, but it was advantage Lewis with Sebastian on the attack. The Red Bulls looked pacier than expected on this power circuit. With Nico back up to second, his attention was fully focused on his teammate.
Copy that.
Nico tried to move round the outside to get the inside line.
Nico hit me. Nico's hit me. That's not cool, guys. That's unbelievable, guys. I can't believe he hit me.
The team's worst-case scenario had played out as many had predicted. Nico had closed on Lewis, but instead of a clean pass, his front wing end plate scraped Lewis's left rear tyre. Rosberg continued, but Hamilton was left with a puncture.
Was it a racing incident?
Yes, I believe so, Lewis.
It was a long way back to the pit lane for Lewis. He rejoined 19th, while his teammate led the race. Nico had damaged his front wing during the run-in with Lewis, so after 8 laps he pitted for a new one. He lost time while the nose was replaced and left Ricciardo at the front of the field ahead of Vettel, Bottas and Alonso. But as Nico made his way round Gutierrez, he picked up some rather distracting debris.
So Nico, we're happy for you to try and pull it off yourself.
I can't, it's stuck on the front.
Okay, copy.
This thing, you have to cut it off. Have a good look at it. Start to pull it out.
It's just stuck on the antenna.
Rosberg tried to repel his advances, but Bottas wouldn't be restrained and moved up to 4th. Nineteenth placed Hamilton had just stopped for a second time and found himself battling Chilton and Ericsson.
What is the reason you're keeping me out? Should save this engine, guys.
So Lewis, don't worry, it is being discussed, but your pace is good. We never know what's going to happen with safety cars or anything later. So let's just keep plugging away and we will keep discussing it here.
It was a day to forget for Hamilton. His retirement opened up the points deficit to Nico once again. Daniel Ricciardo had grabbed the bull by the horns and took his second consecutive race win.
Attaboy. Fantastic. Unbelievable drive. Unbelievable. How did you do that?
The Mercedes clash could prove decisive in the battle for the title and had tremendous repercussions for the team. Despite the run-in with Lewis and having to pit for a new front wing, Nico recovered well to finish just over 3 seconds behind race winner Ricciardo. But could Daniel make a late bid as a title contender?
Well done to Daniel.
Well, Toto, the podium is taking place just next to us. I think Nico came out to some boos there. You don't have much to say about that, but let's talk about the race then. That incident between the two of them, first of all, at Les Combes.
Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Lap number 2 of a long race, a crash between two teammates. You know, we have often discussed that situation. It happened today.
Can you apportion blame?
Well, I think it's pretty clear what happened out there. You don't try to overtake with the knife between your teeth. Is that how you say in lap number 2? And then damage both cars.
Do you think this is a watershed moment in the battle between them and their relationship?
I think this is a decisive moment for the battle between the two of them and for the team.
Toto, how are you going to handle this situation now?
It's going to be handled.
You've just been watching the podium, only one of your drivers up there. Describe your emotions after this race.
Very simple. It is unacceptable for me that in the second lap, Nico hits Lewis. Very simple. Unacceptable.
So why did it happen? Surely you've talked through that scenario before?
There's going to be a meeting in 16:45 to find out. But this is unacceptable. Because if these things happen in the end of the race, where these two guys, Lewis and Nico, are fighting each other, we can talk about it. But in the second lap, to make this mistake and then let Red Bull and Ricciardo win, I have to say that they did a very good job, is ridiculous.
Have you talked through that scenario prior to a race? Please don't hit each other in the opening laps.
So far, I thought that they're clever enough to know that, but now we have to discuss it. Very simple.
Lewis, what's your take on the contact that you had with Nico?
Well, whilst I was driving, I didn't really understand what happened. I felt quite a big thud at the rear, and then I just watched it on the replay just now, and I mean, I gave the guy space. I don't really understand, but you know, it's just really gutting obviously for the result, but also really for the team. You know, my guys, they work so hard every weekend, and we've had such a tough year. The guys that are on my side of the garage, but just generally in terms of the whole team, and this is not good points for the team. We could have easily had a 1-2 out there today, and so it's just an overall not great feeling. But
when you hear the crowds booing and you hear that Toto and Nicky are both laying the blame squarely at Nico's door, how does that make you feel?
Doesn't make no difference really. I didn't finish today, so that's what really counts.
First of all, congratulations on the podium today, and you've extended your championship lead. It seems, though, that Toto Wolff and Niki Lauda say what you've done is unacceptable, they said on television to us, and the crowd booed you. How are you feeling at the moment?
First of all, what I hear is that Toto said that it was a very avoidable accident, which doesn't directly give me the blame. And secondly, it was the British people who were not happy out there, and they're supporting Lewis. You know, the majority of the crowd were excited after the race for having had a great show and a great race. You know, nevertheless, of course, I'm very unhappy because for the team it's been a bad day today. You know, we have the fastest car there. We need to come first and second, and we just came second today, so that's not good.
Have you spoken to Lewis as yet?
No, but I'm sure we'll have a discussion later on.
In fact, when I spoke to him, if you look at Monaco and here that he was talking about, the stewards didn't look into either, so they were both seen as racing incidents. Do you think there's a situation where you're almost being made to look like the bad guy?
Well, you know, there's always the British media who is going to be on that side, and then if you speak to the Germans, it's more Lewis being made to look at the bad guy, you know, and that's the nature of the sport. And if that all makes it more exciting, then so be it. In the end, you know, we're here to entertain and to give all of you at home a great time. Of course, not in the way we did today, but so I don't feel that I'm being made to look in the bad guy or anything as such.
So if you go back into the garage now or go back and speak to Niki Lauda and Toto Wolff, if they are disappointed at what you've done, how will you react? Will you be disappointed? Because do you think that you haven't done anything wrong at all? Which you haven't, because they didn't look into it.
Well, first of all, that's very hypothetical to now say what they're going to say. We have to wait and see and have a discussion, and then yeah, I'll also give my opinion.